There are moments in your life when you feel utterly alone, when the shadows seem longer than the day, and the weight of the world presses on your chest until you can hardly breathe. But I tell you today, you are never alone. In the unseen realm, in the invisible, there are messengers from heaven, angels sent to guard you. There comes a moment in every life when the weight of loneliness presses so heavily on the heart that it feels as though the whole world has stepped away. You can be surrounded by people, yet still feel an emptiness so deep it seems to echo inside you. Perhaps you've sat in a crowded room, smiling on the outside, but silently breaking within. You've walked through days where no phone call came, no friendly voice reached out, no warm hand rested on your shoulder. In those moments, you begin to wonder if anyone truly sees you, if anyone truly knows the silent battles you're fighting. But here is a truth that does not change with circumstances. You are never truly alone. Even when the chair next to you is empty, even when no human eyes are watching over you, the eyes of heaven are. God has woven into the fabric of your life his constant presence, and with it the ministry of his angels. Their footsteps may not echo on the floor, their hands may not be felt on your skin, but they are near, so near that if your spiritual eyes could open for a single moment, you would be astonished at the nearness of the unseen. This is not a vague comfort or a poetic thought. It is a divine reality. The God who formed you in your mother's womb knew every valley you would walk through, every tear that would fall from your eyes, every night you would lie awake with thoughts too heavy to bear. He knew there would be seasons when human companionship would fail you, not always because people don't care, but because no human heart can be present with you every moment. And so, in his love, he made sure that you would never be without the company of heaven. Think of it while you are at your desk at work, while you drive through traffic, while you lie in bed wondering how tomorrow will unfold. There are messengers of God positioned around you. They are not waiting for you to be perfect to protect you. They are there because you belong to the one who loves you without measure. And even in your loneliest hour, that love is expressed in their silent, steadfast watch over your life. Loneliness has a way of whispering lies no one cares, no one sees, you are forgotten. But the presence of God's angels tells a different story. It says, you are cared for, you are watched over, you are remembered by heaven itself. And while you may not always feel their nearness, it is in those very moments when your heart aches the most that they are closest. You may never fully realize how many times their unseen hands have shielded you from harm, guided your steps away from danger, or simply stood beside you to ensure that the crushing weight of isolation did not break your spirit. So even when the silence of the room feels deafening, remember this: you are never walking through it alone. Heaven walks with you. There is an entire world around you that your natural eyes cannot see. It is as real as the chair you sit on, as certain as the air you breathe, but it exists beyond the reach of human sight. In that unseen realm, God's angels are at work. They are not bound by the noise of the earth or the limitations of time. They move with quiet precision, carrying out the assignments given to them by the Creator Himself. You may never hear their footsteps or feel the brush of their wings, but they are there, surrounding you, moving ahead of you, standing guard behind you. They do not operate with the drama of earthly armies or the flash of human heroes. Their strength is not in being noticed, but in fulfilling the will of God without distraction. They slip through moments unnoticed, yet leaving behind the evidence of their presence in the safety you experience, the dangers you avoid, and the peace that settles in your heart when it should not make sense. You may think it was coincidence when you changed your route at the last second, or when a conversation redirected your decisions, or when an unexpected delay kept you from being in the wrong place at the wrong time. But there is no such thing as coincidence when heaven is involved. In the unseen realm, these messengers watch for the moments when the enemy plots to harm you. They see the traps long before you do. They recognize the storms before they reach your skies. And without fanfare, they step into position, standing as a barrier between you and what could have destroyed you. They do not need recognition or gratitude to act. Their loyalty is to the one who sent them, and in serving him, they serve you. Sometimes they move ahead to prepare the path so that by the time you arrive, danger has already been removed. Other times they remain right beside you, ready to hold you steady when the ground beneath you starts to shake. They are never idle, never uncertain, never distracted. In the invisible world, they are always alert, always ready, always in motion. There is a deep comfort in knowing that protection is not limited to what your eyes can see. You might feel vulnerable because you can't account for every threat, because you cannot see what's around every corner. But the angels assigned to you do not share that limitation. They see beyond the veil of the visible. They stand at the edge of time and space, perceiving what you cannot, and they respond before you even know there is a reason to be afraid. You may not sense their nearness. You may not hear a sound or see a sign, but their quiet movements are the reason you are still here, still standing, still able to take the next step. They work in the silence, they guard in the shadows, and they carry out their mission without needing to be seen, because their purpose is not to be recognized, but to keep you safe in the will of God. There have been moments in your life when danger was closer than you realized, so close that had it not been for an unseen intervention, your story could have ended differently. You might remember a near accident that somehow didn't happen, an illness that should have taken a worse turn but didn't, or a situation where harm seemed inevitable yet never came. These are not simply strokes of luck or random chance. These are moments when God's angels stepped between you and what sought to harm you. Protection from danger often happens in ways you will never fully know while you are on this side of eternity. You do not see the spiritual battles fought over your life, the invisible walls erected to shield you from the enemy's attacks, or the traps dismantled before you ever got near them. Angels are sent to stand in the gap for you, creating a barrier between your life and the forces that want to destroy it. This protection is not passive, it is active, deliberate, and precise. They do not just watch over you from a distance, they intervene, redirect, and hold back the tides of destruction. Sometimes their protection feels like a last minute. It rescue a sudden turn of events, an unexpected phone call, or an unexplainable delay that changes the course of your day. Other times it is so subtle you never notice it at all. You might simply walk away from a situation thinking that could have been much worse without realizing that an angel's presence was the reason it wasn't. In the spiritual realm, the enemy studies you, looking for moments of vulnerability, times when fear, distraction, or weakness might make you easy prey. But what the enemy cannot account for is the command of God over your life. His word to his angels is clear: guard, protect, and do not let harm overtake the one I have called my own. They obey without hesitation, moving with speed and strength that no power of darkness can withstand. And this protection is not limited to physical safety. There are dangers to your heart, your mind, and your faith that are just as real as any physical threat. Angels are sent to shield you from words meant to break you, influences meant to corrupt you, and situations designed to pull you away from the path God has set before you. Even when you cannot recognize the danger, they can. Even when you underestimate the risk, they never do. It is humbling to realize how many close calls in your life were not avoided by your own wisdom or strength, but by the watchful presence of heaven's messengers. Every day they are on guard, every moment they are alert, and every second they are ready to step forward so that what was meant for your harm cannot prevail. They stand as silent warriors, holding the line, making sure you are here to see another day, to fulfill another step in the purpose God has written for your life. When God calls you his own, he does not leave your safety to chance. Your life is not a random sequence of events, drifting without direction. Every step you take, every season you enter, every challenge you face is already known to him, and with that knowledge comes intentional protection. He does not simply hope that you will be safe, he commands his angels concerning you by name. This is not a general order for all humanity. It is a personal, specific directive tied to your life, your journey, and your destiny. Before danger even forms a shadow over your path, heaven has already received its orders. Angels do not move on their own impulses. They act on the precise instructions of God. And when he speaks your name in the courts of heaven, assigning them to guard you, that command carries the full authority of the one who rules over all creation. No opposing force can override it, no darkness can break through it, and no circumstance can stop it from being carried out. Think of it: the creator of the universe calls an angel, points to you, and gives a charge. Guard this one. Watch over their coming and going. Do not let harm overtake them. Stand by them in the valley. Go before them in the battle. That angel's mission is now tied to your life. They are not guessing what to do or waiting to see what happens. They have a divine mandate to protect you until the purpose God has for you is fulfilled. This is why there are moments in life when the odds seem completely against you, yet somehow you come through unharmed. The enemy may set traps, people may plot against you, or circumstances may rise like a flood, but none of it can undo the command God has spoken over your protection. His angels are bound to his word, and his word concerning you will not fail. It is not your prayers alone that mobilize them, although prayer invites greater awareness of their work. It is God's will and love for you that sends them in the first place. Before you knew you needed guarding, he had already put the order in motion. Before you saw the danger, the defense was already in place. Sometimes their obedience to his command is visible in miraculous escapes. Other times it is hidden in ordinary moments that you never think twice about the wrong turn that kept you out of harm's way, the hesitation that spared you from a dangerous decision, the closed door that saved you from walking into a situation that would have wounded you deeply. God's command is not a suggestion. It is a decree that angels fulfill without question. And when he speaks your name in heaven, sending his messengers to walk beside you, you can be certain that you are not merely drifting through life hoping for safety. You are being intentionally guarded under divine orders. There are moments in life when you step into a place you have never been, face situations you have never encountered, or walk into seasons that feel uncertain and unfamiliar. You do not always know what is waiting for you there, but God does. Long before your feet touch that ground, his angels have already gone ahead of you. They are not simply reacting to your journey. They are preparing the path before you take it. This preparation is both practical and spiritual, arranging circumstances, removing obstacles, and positioning the right opportunities so that when you arrive, the way forward is already open. In the natural, you might think the events of your life are unfolding by chance, that you just happened to meet the right person, or that a door just happened to open at the perfect time. But in the unseen realm, nothing is accidental. Angels have been dispatched before you, ensuring that what could have blocked you is moved out of the way, and what could have delayed you is shifted into alignment with God's timing. They work with precision, knowing exactly where you will be and when you will arrive. Sometimes their preparation is protective. They go before you to clear away dangers that you never even knew existed. A meeting is rescheduled, an unexpected delay occurs, or a change of plans takes place, and while you might feel frustrated in the moment, you do not realize that it was heaven's hand altering the sequence of events to keep you from harm. Other times, their preparation is purposeful. They arrange divine appointments where the right conversations, connections, and opportunities come together in ways that could not have been orchestrated by human effort alone. Angels are not bound by your limitations of time and space. While you are still praying about a decision, they are already moving in the future God has planned for you, setting things in place so that the path you are meant to walk will be ready when you get there. They do not operate with hesitation or uncertainty. When God sends them ahead, they move with confidence, knowing that his plans are certain and his word cannot fail. There is great peace in realizing that you are never walking into the unknown without heaven's preparation. You may not see the work being done, but you are walking on a path that has been touched by the hands of the unseen. Every conversation that will encourage you, every door that will open for you, and every situation that will shape you has been carefully aligned by the one who loves you enough to send his messengers ahead of you. Even in seasons where nothing seems to be moving, they are still at work. The silence of your present does not mean the absence of preparation. In ways beyond your understanding, angels are clearing, arranging, and setting the stage for what is to come. And when you finally step into that moment, it will feel like everything came together at just the right time because heaven had been there before you ever arrived. There are seasons when the weight of life feels almost unbearable. You wake up weary, go through the day with your strength nearly gone, and lie down at night wondering how you will find the energy to face tomorrow. It is in those moments when your spirit feels drained and your body feels heavy that God's angels draw close to you in a way you may not even notice. They are not always sent to fight off a visible danger or to block an external threat. Sometimes their mission is simply to stand beside you and hold you steady when everything in you feels like it could collapse. Strength is not always about lifting great burdens or charging into battle. Sometimes strength is the quiet ability to take one more step when you thought you could not move at all. The enemy would like nothing more than to see you give up, to watch your faith crumble under the weight of discouragement. But God, in his mercy, sends his messengers to ensure that does not happen. They come to minister to your spirit, to infuse you with the strength you cannot find on your own, to breathe courage back into your heart when it feels like it has leaked away. You may not hear their voices, but you feel the effect of their presence. There is a sudden calm in the middle of chaos, a fresh wave of peace in the midst of grief, or a surprising courage that rises up inside you, even though the situation has not changed. That is the work of angels sent to strengthen you. Just as they ministered to Jesus in the wilderness after 40 days of fasting, they come to minister to you in your moments of greatest weakness. Sometimes their strengthening work is as simple as keeping you from falling apart emotionally when bad news arrives. Other times, it is the quiet resilience that keeps you showing up day after day, doing what God has called you to do, even when your heart feels tired. They guard your thoughts, pushing back against the lies of hopelessness. They steady your spirit so you can keep believing when nothing you see encourages your faith. This is not a temporary comfort. It is a divine reinforcement. Their presence reminds you that you are not expected to carry everything alone. Heaven itself is invested in your endurance. These messengers are assigned not just to shield you from harm, but to ensure you finish the race God has set before you. Even in the stillness, when no one else notices what you are going through, they are there unseen, unwavering, and unshaken by the size of your struggle. They do not grow tired of standing guard, and they are never indifferent to your pain. They have been sent with a purpose, to keep you from collapsing under the weight of life and to make sure that, no matter how dark the night feels, you have enough strength to see the morning light again. There are countless moments in your life when heaven has intervened without your awareness. Times when the path you were walking seemed ordinary, but in the unseen realm, battles were being fought on your behalf. You may look back at certain events and think they were nothing more than coincidences, a meeting that fell through, a sudden change in plans, a delay that felt inconvenient at the time, yet those were moments when angels were actively working to shield you, guide you, and preserve you. One day, when you stand in the presence of God, you may finally see just how many times his messengers were there, moving in ways you never recognized. Angels are not sent to draw attention to themselves. Their work is often hidden because their purpose is not to be praised, but to carry out the will of the one who sent them. They are like a protective wall you cannot see, standing between you and dangers you did not even know were near. In the quiet of your daily life, they have stepped in front of harm, rerouted your path, and blocked the plans of the enemy, all without announcing their presence. Imagine how many times your life has been spared because an unseen hand redirected your steps. How many times words that could have wounded you deeply were never spoken because an angel intervened. How many times you were spared heartbreak, failure, or danger because heaven made adjustments in your path that you thought were inconveniences. The truth is, you have been living inside a story filled with divine protection. But because so much of it takes place beyond your sight, you cannot yet see its full beauty. These unseen interventions are not random acts. They are deliberate, purposeful, and deeply personal. They happen because God knows what lies ahead and loves you too much to let you face it unprotected. Even in moments when you feel forgotten, the reality is that you have never been overlooked. Heaven has been aware of every step you take, every decision you make, and every challenge you encounter. And in that awareness, God's angels have been assigned to keep you on the path that leads to His plan for your life. One day, when all is revealed, you may be astonished to see the invisible thread of God's care woven through every chapter of your life. You will recognize the countless rescues you never noticed, the protection you never thanked Him for, and the strength you never knew was being supplied. Every near miss, every close call, every mysterious moment of peace in the middle of chaos will make sense. For now, you walk in trust, knowing that even though you cannot see the full picture, you are living in the constant reality of divine intervention. Every breath you take is guarded, every step you make is watched over, and every day you live is marked by the quiet, faithful work of angels who have been sent to see you through to the end of your journey.